car that went through the more constructor. This is the car that I think the back of the pack just to sort of get my head straight again. Right, NASCAR, we've had a few already running up the hill. We weren't we'll find you been driving something even more exciting. Of choice, not on the golf course, not looking over records, they'll be out in the car. That is the happy place.
And not only does he do it, he's very good at it. I mean, he is a very good Street Fighter originally was very
Subaru, nothing to see here. Hold on a second, look at that rear wing. That is operated by the pressure button, a huge amount of downforce. You'll see further up the course.
love you, but not.
Rapid spread your head. Yeah. What did you make off? American element. Now,
Pt.2.
This is, I mean, it's all racing.
This is nicknamed.
Like coming to like the rim, like being able to readjust the movement of the hand. So really it's crucial for dexterity in robotics.
Wow, yeah, okay. So obviously you guys are here at the Future Lab at Goodwood, but where would this kind of robotics be used in the everyday world?
So really the most useful places for this kind of application is in humanoids, mostly in hospitals, care homes. So really the places where you want humans and robots interacting in like a really safe way, but also where dexterity will be the most important. So any medical procedures, like any remote dexterous manipulation, that's where we really see the future of this technology.
Oh, wow, okay. And what's the reaction been like from the visitors to the Festival of Speed to this sort of technology?
Oh, it's been brilliant.
1898, so the 1900s, that's what we're going to be enjoying in this first run. John Watson is with me, and John, it's his fun thing, it's very early.
I'm just looking at the boiler and looking inside it. Apparently it takes about an hour and a half to get sufficient heat into the boiler, or into the furnace to get the boiler heated up. There we see it just being closed up again, so it wasn't what you might call instant horsepower. I could get, let's say,
Well, we've got a whole bunch of ready to come out of rivals. Let's take a look at this in a bit more detail.
In motorsport, everyone competes. That is the nature of it. But sometimes the competition becomes something more. It becomes personal. A glance held a fraction too long, a move just too close, a mistake, the kind no one forgets. And over time, a season becomes a contest between two. This is where speed meets pride, where friendships are tested, where respect matures, but is quietly
Those absolute classic years. We've got, for example, we've got the White Charger, the very famous TT, probably the most famous TT of all time, Foggy B. Hizzy. We got Roberts v Spencer. We go to the 500 two-strokes. Wayne Rainey v Kevin Schwantz. Agostini v Elwood. We've got Lawson v Spencer. I mean, there's just so many good rivalries, and as just mentioned there, it really.
Yes, I mean, this is going back a little bit prior to my entry, but certainly there, a car coming into view is the McLaren M23, synonymous for two world champions. One was Emerson Fittipaldi when he joined McLaren for the 1974 season, and then 1976. In fact, at the end of 1975, Emerson Fittipaldi unexpectedly and very suddenly decided to leave that championship-winning team and Grand Prix-winning team.
Videla is Becche from 1920 Italy, so it's great to see him being ridden by one of their test riders, so really good to sort of see him. He's going to give us a little burnout here, and well, they both are. Have you done this before? Yeah, so that little 40. And from two wheels to four wheels, and some of these machines that are so good at drifting around as well as making up the hill climb.
Going through special stages, but it's the control at the same time, so they can do all these outrageous things with a car, which normally you would assume would see the car fail. But
yeah, and then you've got sort of the bigger versions of four-wheel drive. That will also provide plenty of excitement as well.
The difference in the performance of these two vehicles is minuscule as they make their way up past. They'll pull off a little bit later just as they cut in, because they're not the quickest machines.
Again, gear change the 1930s.
And Alfa Romeo as the work of the factory team. Here's the scream of the supercharger on that white Mercedes. Well, that is the Maserati, the 18-3000. That is from 1932. Who is driving.
So can this one make it up the hill today? That's the question. Yeah, absolutely, because they have. You can see the smoke coming out of it again. The steam. It is trying to go up. This is the Christie, from the 1909 period. And there's many hours.
Yeah, that's running clean. Sometimes spark plugs get a little bit burned up, a bit choked, so you need to give it all the way through.
Yeah, but it's great to see it. It has made it up to the top of the hill. As you say, the way it's designed around that steering wheel with sort of early aerodynamics, you realise quite how low you needed to get with it. But here we are now. It will be enjoying some of the machines that are away in a separate group, the Dirty Talk group, as they call it, and we're looking at the Lancia Stratos that is heading in. Yeah.
Not only were they very quick cars, but at the time there was very poor spectator discipline in rallying, and that was a part of the reason why eventually these cars had to be slowed down, and the Class B cars actually seemed to be too quick for rallying. A combination of spectator control combined to get. We went back to something very much more mundane.
Yeah. That 1986 that these come from, the winner was the Peugeot winning events, wasn't it? So it was a big battle. Yeah, it was, and it gave us, obviously I know it ended in tragedy, but it did give us some outrageous cars.
Yeah. You take the bodywork off, and it's almost like a silhouette rally car.
Yes.
It's a tube chassis, the engine's mounted in a totally different position to that of the original car.
And the 143 are heading out right now. This is the Battle of Le Mans, of course, that we're talking about from the 1960s.
Yeah, 1966, and Ford finally won Le Mans 24 hours, and they tronched the Ferrari team, who had been fundamentally the dominant team all the way through. They built up the Ford GT team, came in 1964 for the first time, and then took victory for the first in 1946.
So we've got Romantic 30s, Auto Union. These are both from Auto Union, and they both have engines behind the drivers, which of course in those days go on to design Porsche, etc.
Professor Ferdinand Porsche designed this Auto Union. You see the one that runs the V16. That was the initial incarnation. So 16.
Goodwood, you can go and have a wander around and have a look at them. Back to some more of the rally machines. Peter Solberg, I think, is back out again. We saw him out earlier. One to watch, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's entertainment. Coming up in front of the house, starts and proceeds. I wouldn't want to be the car following this up. I can't imagine what the exit of Malcolm Corner is going to be like. Well, it's another rally car, so it'll handle it pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, is this thing coming out?
Toyota.
The Toyota, yeah, coming out right now. And this one, Jari Matti Lavala, I think, is in that one at this stage. And also we've got the Toyota GT pilots. And that is
I mean, the little
R9, and I think David Brabham is at the wheel of that. And we've got the Porsche 962 as well.
Drove one of those band and period, 1987 and 88, and there's a titanic battle between Jaguar and Porsche, and in 1987 Jaguar won all the rounds of the World Sports Car Championship bar one, and that was won by Porsche, and because the Porsche was just that little bit better as a Le Mans car setup, Jaguar came back in 1988 with the revised aero setup, Into the race, the Jaguar team had a gearbox issue and they were struggling with that. So while Porsche maybe lost time with a missed pit stop, that Jaguar themselves had other issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Now here's the Renault, and this one, about impressive what they could achieve.
Yes, I mean it was very important for a French manufacturer to win outright at Le Mans. We've seen earlier in the 70s that Lando done so with their V12 naturally aspirated.
So now the slightly later version of all of this. This is the 2010 Audi R15 TDI Plus, and this one for Audi's 9th.
They enjoyed in that period was that they were virtually on track. Virgil came in and with Le Mans. Both were running at that stage. Initially, Ron Dennis, the boss of McLaren, showed no interest whatsoever in turning into a racing car, and it turned out to be an well, this is the car that formed one of the greatest moments of the 1970s, and that was the battle of the car. But it all changed when Niki Lauda had that appalling accident at Nürburgring, and tragically, well not tragically, he could have passed away. It was almost that they had the last rites being given to him, and he said, "No, I don't want that. I'm not going to die. I'm going to get better, and I'm going to return."
Regarding acquirer Cologa Speedster. Now this really inspired by in the design of it. Yeah, it's from the 1960s. Designed and built in-house. Codename's father about Singer and their reimaginations of Porsche 911s. And well, it might be yours as well from 1990 cars. And this is what Singer do. They really crafting Venom F5M. This is the manual version of the M5. It's not how you sitting down if you are miles an hour. So only with their Formula 1 cars or with their top tier road offerings as well. There's the up the hill. That's actually one of my favorites. Back in the chassis. Now another 964 generation 911 in green making its way up the hill with those fantastic white alloys. This is a 1992 Porsche 911. Again, another Ferrari at 9,000 RPM. Of the hill. Especially since they were established. This is some latest hypercar. The whole engine here is pretty much the engine from the 499P, which won the whole 3 years on the trot, 2023, 24, and 25. The Ferrari FXXK. Now Ferrari has celebrated green. A stunning car. It's got over 1,000 horsepower. Engine. It's got a rematched hybrid system. Aston Martin V8 powered non-hybrid model in its class. This is rapid. And Aston Martin is not just well, heading up now. We've got the Porsche 911 GT3 SC. Up here, then this is the car we do. Yeah, the GT3 is always slated design cues as well. It's for 1,000 horsepower. Heading off the start line now. This is mean, and it is a mean machine from Apollo. This is the Denver and the old. Naturally aspirated. These there, the sharp lights at the rear end from the wing down to the diffuser. That's totally hyperguide. And you can suppose that this car needs a driver.
It's cool.
I'm sure it is, but I should continue. It's got a pure engine with Gazoo and then motor racing on to something else. As well. 95 and the Mole with. They're based just down the road in Petersfield. And it was and down chassis number 29 got major. Now, Black Series is AMG's kind of no compromise. Full on with their launches right now, really Aurora Tour is making its way up the hill now. This is the first run in production spec following last week's prototype debut. As well. And the ultimate brand of tourist hypercar, the Aurora White. Hear the sounds of that heading up the hill, and this is not only a special car, but a special guest as well. The BMW Pt.2 LMR, not actually running in this supercar batch across the weekend, but the 9-time MotoGP champion Valentino Rossi, who are so I think that 1999 the more winning car just missed Valentino there. Really astonishing. He's all looking very good.
I went back to Ferrari, but I went back again to Benetton. So I was everywhere, I was twice. And I could get my last win also.
Here do you think, ooh, I want to have a go next time? Well, should we ask him?
Remember, but then we have people like
Well, lovely to celebrate Gerhard Berger and all his career in Formula One with some top teams and alongside so many others. But we are now
Already gone out there, and the fastest at the moment is Alex Summers.
I think he is actually second fastest, isn't he, Alex?
Plenty more running still to come. We now get the Renault Pikes Peak.
Not quite at the top end, is it? But it's still a rapid machine, and we will see as he crosses the line what that is, 54.08. So that's delivery so far. So it is Summers who is current. In fact, yeah, let's just see if this is going to be enough to do even more with the 290. This is the Chevrolet Corvette. 2003, across the line he goes.
It's going to be tough because there's so much dust out there.
Now, this is somebody who is quick, Johan Kristoffersen,
dominant season in World Rallycross 2018. It's not as powerful as little space to run wide here. Let's just see, cross the line, and that is a 47.1. It goes into second place.
Very, very close. And now Gordon Pepper might steal that away.
Yeah, Jordan Pepper, who is now charging along with the number 449 M3 Touring, the 24-hour ultimate race car with touring car body. Absolutely. And it's Manuel Agosna who is competing with this one. He's a regular Ferrari Challenge racer, International GT Competitor 2. So contemporary CTs again, so we're trying to get a 560 horsepower and full carbon fibre bodywork. So this is going to be a rapid machine, and Luca Ludwig, son of the former DTM champion and Le Mans winner Klaus Ludwig, himself. So let's just see how this goes. Really now these, and so this is going to be pretty rapid again, part of the contemporary GTs.
Fifth yesterday with a 48.7 and faster. Turn one, and he's on the grass at the straight.
But he did, wouldn't it?
A lot, yeah, a lot of time.
Understandable, yeah. So now let's see how this goes. We've got Johnny Cicotto coming out and the BMW M3 DTM E92.
Always pushing him back in the seat.
So fully electric, the Ford Super Mustang Marquis, and we know how successful Roman. Look at that, the start procedure rapid already. Look on board with the sort of forces going on there.
Yeah, and goes all four-wheel drive.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating to see with this all-new Generation 4, as you say. We're going to see them racing later this year, and again it makes an incredibly rapid start, which you can understand because they're hugely powerful with the amount of torque from electric. He's going to set off. This is in production road cars, so you can't expect this to have quite the same pace, but in the class they will be trying to set the pace in that class.
Yeah, so they know not to go out and try and do that all right. Against the electric cars, it's not going to be there, but the 5.6 litre supercharged is going to...
Lots of Porsche 911, of course, the 993 version, but they've made their own version.
They certainly have, and that is going to be a rival. They're in the same class, 4 litre engine, kicking up some dust along the way as well.
And
could be. Now, the Bentley Super Sport didn't really get a run in yesterday because they were showboating, but let's see what Paul Rees can do today.
So yeah, Paul Rees with the Bentley Super Sports 2025 machine from Dynamic Fill. So let's see whether this is going to be able to deliver. This is real.
So having young people at the centre of the work is really important. You know, authentic, genuine, and it's grounded in reality. So it's not just based on like some kind of theoretical fun people do. Fantastic. And talk to us a little bit about when you first got excited about motorsport and how also you came across Mission 44.
Yeah, so I think like a lot of us here, it might have been our parents that were watching Formula 1 and we grew up watching it. So my dad was a big Michael Schumacher fan, big in Japan and everything. But I was always interested in engineering as well. So my parents used to buy me like toy cars. I'd play with them for about 10 minutes and then I'd break it apart to see how the wheels are turning, how everything's turning from a young age. So engineering was always something that I loved from a very young age.
Has being part of the Mission 44 Motorsport Scholarship had on you and your career, and also on a personal level, your confidence and things like that?
Well, I think the scholarship for Mission 44 really changed my life. It allowed me to get a master's in motorsport when I couldn't because of financial burden. So I was already working somewhere else. I couldn't really because I had to work. So the financial aspect of that back on my work and then go in Oxford Brookes and do my master's part-time. And then on top of that, the scholarship also allowed for, they had a lot of events, a lot of networking events, a lot of sort of soft skills events. So I saw my confidence kind of grow and become, you know, the person I was when I started to now is absolutely worlds apart. Once I had the technical side of the master's, along with the soft skills and the confidence from the scholarship. networking was open, so one of the networking events, there was a Mercedes HR person there. They saw my CV and everything, and then about 3 months later they emailed me and said, oh, we saw your CV at this time, we know your profile, we'd really love you to come and apply. And that was kind of the third to then get into the sector.
Safa Amjad, thank you so much for that. Amjad.
Get your approval.
Now, often you read about the cars that are going to turn up at the Festival of Speed. And when I read that this Audi Luca was going to be here, I for one got very excited to take on a speed record, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. This car was competing in a speed record, and started 934, and the record.
And the top speed was, he was driven by Hans Stuck in period, wasn't it? And the speed was
326 as a top speed, and the average speed over 1 mile in the distance was 320 kilometers an hour.
And for old money, is this wonderful V16 engine?
Yes. Basically, what we have mounted in here is a 6-liter V16 engine with 520 horsepower, but the original engine, 1935, was a 5-liter engine with a little bit less horsepower, with 343 horsepower, as they competed in the event to break the record.
And how many hours has it gone into recreate this car? I mean, it's so elegant and beautiful when you look inside that cockpit.
I can't really break it down in words. Like, it took 300 years to create it and rebuild the building.
It's just such a wonderful looking thing. And it's obviously going up the hill this weekend in the hands of people like... It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Thank you for...
Ferrari Formula 1 car. A 65-degree 1.5-litre engine initially, then used up to about 190 brake horsepower. Except that engineering group and Enzo Ferrari, and it resulted in they leaving Ferrari, which seriously had 2 seasons for the Ferrari team.
Yeah, that wasn't actually driving this, so it is really enjoyable to see that. Indeed, it's a very important early version. This is the 1971 Ferrari 312 B2, and we've got in this one this time, we've got this is the 315, this is from 2021, the SF21.
And Marc Genet, a long-standing member of the Ferrari.
A couple of Grand Prix having to stand in. Ferrari's the 2007 version. Kimi Räikkönen's title with Ferrari by 1 point in that.
You can already see the influence of the wind tunnel, the body parts getting more and more common. And it's into the era of lots and lots of that.
That very narrow title. Looking now at Thomas Junior collaboration. This one was Kimi actually did race on the version of the
earlier Ferrari,
the earlier one. This is, yes,
96, 97.
Yeah.
Maybe than some of the professionals like Damon Hill.
Yeah.
Damon is not sparing his World Championship winning Williams.
Oh, this is lovely to see Damon back in the Williams, with which he did take that title in 1996. And Damon got it together completely.
Car in the 1996 season. Here's a car that was equally dominant in the late 70s into 1980. Alan Jones won his World Championship in this car in 1980, and really, I mean, a masterpiece. The Grove, I think, workshop just outside.
Championship in 1980 with this car. Way up the hill.
And over the weekend about tyres and overheating. And in the case of Nigel, his tyre let go. Alain Prost, who went on to win the race, I think, and certainly win the World Championship in '86. I think McLaren might have opted to make a pit stop, and maybe had Williams chosen to do the same for Mansell at that particular point, that might have been a different outcome in the championship or in the result of that Grand Prix.
Going up the hill here. basically now we are looking at some F1 Academy. Fun to enjoy opportunity to do that as well. So that is going to be something to really be identifying on. We're now looking at the BMW Sauber 2007.
Yes, and again
himself, Tom Hartley Jr. in the McLaren.
Purveyor of fine through Malcolm and then up to the top. Is probably your best friend.
It is great. And we're also going to take a look at the Mercedes as well. This is the 2023 version.
This is the McLaren.
Sorry, McLaren, yes, 2023 version of the McLaren.
Potential drivers to develop for the future. You never know what a driver might do, even though there are complex contracts, but Leo Fornaroli gets a run out on occasions as part of a young up-and-coming driver who run an FP1 at a Grand Prix. And pretty impressive performance.
Frederick Vesti is next out with the Mercedes, and this is the 2022 version, which was completed by Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. And George joined from Williams, claimed his first win late in the season in Brazil. W13. Now the Aston Martin from 2025, so this is a very recent version of Formula One. Of course, it has been raced by Fernando Alonso. Jessica Hawkins is the racer that works with Aston Martin, and she's getting the opportunity to take it up there.
Once again in front of the fans, and the acceleration of present Formula One cars with the hybrid, 50% hybrid, 50% internal combustion engine, is just mind-blowing. And even on a wet set of tyres, you need to be careful. So another little burnout as we get through the thin wall up towards the top of this slightly over a mile in length hill climb in the grounds of Goodwood House. The wheels will listen to the power being transmitted through those two rear wheels, and before you know it, he's doing about 160 kilometers per hour before he lifts off. Another little jab on the throttle, and the car snaking under acceleration, but on a set of red sidewall Pirelli Formula One tires. Now here we go. Here's going to be
balanced Formula E machine that was established for the series.
Improved battery system and other aspects within the Formula
generation of Formula E, the red Mahindra, and this one is Many who is driving it today.
And you see,
but it'll start racing latter part of this year and into 2027. It's Gen 4, and it is massively powerful. And we saw Daniel Jenkins up earlier in the Shootout Quali.
Ferrari as well. Yeah, that was the Ferrari of I was trying to break in.
To the track, we've got the Ford GT Mark IV making its way up, followed by the Mustang Spirit of America. Both Fords here, two very different designs, both striking, both powerful.
very visual, colourful representation of Ford's fanatical passion for motorsport. The Mark IV there was introduced a few years ago off the back of the Ford's return to GT racing, specifically the Le Mans 24 Hours.
Now, and that Rolls-Royce Spectre black badge too, just carving their way up through the field. We're almost going to do them in a few different batches as we head up the hill, and here our next batch, led by that Pagani, which just from every angle really stands out. You look to your left or right on the motorway, and well, you definitely do a double take on that front. And this is actually what I love about the Supercars. Well, Supercars really has quite a wide definition here, because all of these cars are classed as supercars, yet you get so much diversity with the shape of the bodywork, what's underneath the bonnet.
The ultimate expression of grand touring motoring. Then following that, the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is effectively a hypercar. So we're seeing the full gamut of forms of exotic machinery here. And Aston Martin have been here in full range of cars, as has Lamborghini. The Temerario there, giving it a bit of a boost off the line. Lamborghini have really been showcasing their plug-in hybrid technology here at this weekend's Goodwood Festival of Speed. The plug-in hybrid technology might have electrification, not necessarily in terms of fuel economy, but they know that engines, of course, allows them to have even more power, even more W1, of course, another car that was revealed last year, but it was only on static display. Here it's getting a lovely run up the hill, and there, this talking about world debut, this is tremendously exciting. This is the Lexus LFA concept. It's the first time the LFA has been driven in public. Lexus chose Goodwood for this car's global run, really. Revealed last December, it previews a next generation Lexus LFA. Of course, the LFA has gone down in the hill. The sound of that 4-litre V12 revs to 12,100 RPM. You can see the central driving position there. Of course, that harks back to the McLaren F1. And at the back there, you're wondering what that weird fan is on the back. Well, that's there. It's there to create downforce. In fact, it will create 1,200 kilograms of downforce, sucking the car down into the road. Yeah, it's just full-on aero, that car, and full-on drama.
It certainly is, as we head up the hill with this really exciting story, this around the Lanzanti 9559 heading up the hill, and you saw the smiles in there from the passenger. That is Mohammed from Mission 44, Lewis Hamilton's charity, getting the opportunity of a lifetime. First time ever, never been to the Goodwood Festival of Speed before. He's here with his father as well, a huge passion for motorsport and getting so much out of being one of Mission 44's young people. They really help encourage diversity across the STEM subjects and working towards a more diverse motorsport culture. And this, well, really Lanzante's own 3-seat supercar inspired.
This thing's lit.
What are the rights going to do as well? Always precise, always taking his racing lines, and even he, a little bit of the bank on the inside, he's got to go for it. Target time to mid 39.6. That's the time set by Roger Duckworth. 2 minutes 32.6. David Wright goes fastest. You're quite right to say, what are they going to do, Zab? And that's what they've done, going to first place, the husband and wife team. Tom Williams has been quick since Thursday. Close towards the end, 29, 30, 30. Not quite there. Second place. Ahead of the field at the moment, the top of the time charts. What about what's turning out to be, Xavier?
Said earlier, we have battled all the way through the field, very much the different categories, you know, the dawn of modern rally, contemporary rally cars, all those people in all those classes, the legend of Group B, stage rally, they were all battling for tenths of seconds to win their class, but as I say, we're into the main part of it now. Sammy is with Ben Smith on board. I can see that Rory McLeod has Danny Callum there. Donovan has David Halford in. Paul Williams going to be interested to see Tom's time.
There's Fabio Schwartz in the stage. 33.3, so Tom Williams in third place. Not quite getting there, 0.7 down. David Wright in first place at the moment, 32.6. Waiting to see who is in the stage and what he can do. Is he been quick all through the weekend as Rory McLeod goes off the line. See what he can do with the WRC2 team, getting a little bit caught up in the ruts at the beginning and him out of kilter a little bit up the back on the inside. Down the stage in pursuit of that time. There's Ollie O'Donovan, and it's still David Wright sitting at the top of the time charts in 2 minute 32.6. Through that dust sab, I couldn't see if he actually touched the back there or not, because he's on it, he's on the edge. And there's that bit of that spoil, yeah, very well done. That spoil that he lost this morning. And there's Dad Ollie O'Donovan.
Ollie from Shanagolden originally, just outside Limerick. Has been based in the UK now for over 35 years. Managing director of a construction company amongst many other little fingers and pies.
Goes into fourth place. That's a very, very good result for Ollie O'Donovan. And one up for the older generation, that's what I say, for the grey hairs.
Yeah, totally agree. No, he's a pretty handy planet, always has been.
Okay, let's see when we pick up Patrick and what he can do, because he's the one that could potentially head David Wright. He could get that fastest time. Let's wait and see what he can do. At the moment, it's David Wright, then it's James Williams, then it's Tom Williams in third place, Ollie O'Donovan in fourth place in terms of this shootout on the Saturday afternoon on the Goodwood FOS rally stage. Here he is over the jump at the flying fin and into that last part of Cooper's. That was quite neat, getting the power down there, pointing the car up in the right direction, not too untidy. Can he get to that timing beat? 31, 2 minute 30.3. Patrick O'Donovan goes fastest, the rallycross man, 3 times national championship winner and international championship winner from rallycross. The youngster from Ireland goes to the head of the field, the top of the timesheets. Congratulations to Patrick. And his dad is down in 5th place, but nonetheless, that's a great family result. David Wright in 2nd place, 2 minutes 32.6 at 0.3 in it. That was really close, as Xavier said. James Williams in 3rd place, 2 minutes 33 dead, then 2 minutes 33.3 for Tom Williams. Tom Williams will be disappointed with that. Then Ollie O'Donovan, then Rory McLeod, then Roger Duckworth, James Lepley, Gary Lacodu, and in 10th place, Marcel Van Vliet. That was fantastic, Zach.
Yeah, very good. And very well done, Patrick, because all you've done is prove to people who are here the talent that you are behind the wheel. I mean, I'm not
not sure if Patrick's even 21 yet. If he is, he's no more than 22, and that is phenomenal performance. We've seen for a number of years now that Patrick does have the skill and the talent, and okay, he started off very young, but you know, to have a talent, you need to work it, and that, I think I'm really impressed with that. I really, really am. Yeah. And I'm delighted for Ollie and the family, and if what Ollie told me was right, his mum Myra will be down this evening to go out to the ball with them, so hopefully Myra was here to see that as well, because that's a big family out. Very good. There you go. So Patrick O'Donovan, the confirmation in first place in the Friday shootout.
We have celebrated Gerhard Berger today. It has been a major thing to enjoy. The man who has won plenty of Grand Prix in his career, the Austrian, worked with many different teams like Ferrari, McLaren and Benetton, and working against some of the great drivers he was competing against.
Yes, one of the characters and personalities, big smile always on his face, and somebody who could have achieved more, but when you're up against Ayrton Senna as a teammate, always a tough ask.
Well, wonderful stuff to be Gerhard Berger being celebrated. And let's find out a little bit more from our feature.
Some drivers are remembered for the races they won, some for the cars they drove, others for their character, both in and out of the car. Gerhard Berger is remembered for all of it. 14 seasons, 210 Grand Prix starts, 10 victories, a F1 career spent at full throttle, with ATS, Arrows, Benetton, Ferrari and McLaren. He was fast, fearless, direct. He gave Benetton both its first and last Formula One victories, and twice returned Ferrari to
heat that they've got to deal with.
Yeah,
all
so
the kits on. How tough is
I think
that?
that's either Tony Davis or James Jackson. Now we're on. KTM, we've got KTM
30 earlier, I told you had a more recent and modern iteration of it, and guess what? They said go ahead and take it on out. So this is a more modern BMW, so you can see the arches. It still has the high horsepower, not exactly knowing the power plant. I have to assume LS. A lot of these BMWs are going through an LS. Reliable horsepower, you know you can get 1,000 plus horsepower on average outside of these competition vehicles, these demo vehicles. But again, the Drift Brothers, they always have a good time. They build some phenomenal vehicles. I love the arches on it. I love the look of it. So again, use of it. There's Bagsy. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at all the videos of the Monster Energy smoke show, the party up there. Did you see that? Were you up there? I breathing it in. I saw you on the stage. Was that you? Okay. Bagsy, Steve Bagsy on me. This gentleman at GR Corolla, ripping it up in a 2JZ powered GR Corolla, built in, yes, 10 days, almost single digits. What did you do in 10 days? Nothing. Well, Steve Bagioni built this vehicle, this weapon of mass destruction. Talking about the tires, talking about a little bit of grass, hopefully not the hay bales. Again, one more day, all thriller, no filler here at Goodwood Festival. Steve as Baggy makes his way up the hill.
Going from light to dark to light to dark, on the dust, off the dust, and with all that power. Well, if it's not loud, not exciting, we can't even see what this is, but you can think.
Wig is off, the goggles are still on. So safety, protect your eyes. I don't know if this is OSHA approved exactly, but Axel Hildebrand here in this 20B rotary powered Volvo. This is a Frankenstein Swedish monster machine. He's got big meatballs and he's definitely ready to throw down. He's got the KTM wheels. It makes a lot of cool, maybe but Axel Hildebrand
whizzing past that beautiful sculpture celebrating Singer here this year. I gotta bounce it a little bit. I'm gonna be partying there with the Duke, Lord March. Are you going? Who else? You guys going?
My alter ego is going. Fear not, we've got about 3 more cars for you to talk about.
No, it's okay.
You'll be across.
I just like the dark, light, dusty, smooth. That sounded like a good Chemical Brothers song. It was really good here as Axel Hildebrand goes into the darkness, but then pops past the flint wall. I want to see somebody actually spark a fire off a flint wall.
I've only just noticed the lights under the car. That was epic.
Speaking of DJ, he's not a DJ, but he gets legal. That would be the only thing that would make it more American for Matt Field, the Beast from the Bay, 777. He competes in the Formula Drift Championship, celebrating 23 years this season. A serious competitor. He drives a C6 in competition. He's been developing his C8 for over a few years and won away.
My head around a mid-mounted engine, and look, a little bit of body loosening at the back, but as you say, wagging the tail, flicking the rear.
Yep, he's twerking. He's twerking on the grass. He is American. He's working it and twerking it. That is Matt Field, the Beast in the Bay, and just gets a little involved with the grass. Again, I didn't know he's landscaping. Sorry, Duke, but he'll be at the party tonight as well. Black tie affair, and he's gonna have a little dust in his teeth. All right, Axel Hildebrand up at the top of the hill, and that's the it's the Force Forsberg. He's on XCOM tires, celebrating Nissan. This Turbo V6 New Z. You know the different iterations, right? Over the years, the Datsun Z, the 280, the 240, the 370, 350, 300. Well, this is the Z. This is the first time this model has ever been on the hill, and Nissan said, you know what, bring it, Chris. You're a 3-time Formula Drift champion. He's been competing for 23 years. He came in hot right there. I saw him yank that handbrake, the fever lever, as our buddy Toby Moody used to say, and Chris the Force Forsberg coming on up, Jetson Industries, XCOM tires in the corners. And of course, again, a little bit more dusting up the right there in front of that iconic backdrop of the Goodwood house. The right-hand drive, truck, ready. Shout out to my boy Kenji. Kawabata, an absolute legend. If you want to see a sensational crash, look up Fuji Speedway, Kawabata, Daigo Saito. Holy cow, it is one for the books. But Kawabata, absolute legend. I don't speak Japanese. He doesn't speak American. So our language is the language of sideways, clutch kick, and take a knee.
The party tonight, that smoke will still be hanging in the air. Then take it in. But what I loved with Forsberg when he came up, he flicked left to go right to get to the pinball. Most people just flick right and hold on and pray. Wow, your guys are special.
I didn't know he's biblical like that, but yeah, again, Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight as Kawabata makes his way across the finish line. It lights up those Toyo tires. Stan Chen, you got to be loving this, bud. I know a lot of my friends and family are waking up on Saturday morning. I know my wife taking sourdough bread, painting, and chilling in the pool. And keep watching this. So shout out to my lovely wife Stephanie. I know she's tuning in. But so I'm gonna go put a suit on. Boys,
quick sticks for Jared. Off he goes. We'll have him back tomorrow.
Legendary.
He's got to put his tux on. He's already back. Super successful on the rally stages, of course. The evocation of rally cars, they change their format from year to year, it seems, but Toyota GR have been such staunch supporters of this, and the GR Yaris, anyone who drives it in road form thinks it's magnificent, but in Rally 1 form,
it is absolutely, you know, Evans, of course, doing a great job with it. We will see how it develops, of course, going on here.
I remember you to be watching those at the same time when they were current against the Ford Sierra Cosworth Ben, the great races, the Silver Centaurus Trophy, the Spa 24 Hours, and it still looks absolutely neat and crisp now. And it's different. Well, Ford and Mustang, they've combined over the day. We've had a chance to drive this. We had Arvid Lindblad getting to the top, popping and banging as much as the car. He literally skipped all of this. He doesn't have the history for that. Now, another car in Red Bull livery. This became ultra famous. The Mercedes AM. There's another 75,000 people came through the gates at the Nürburgring to see that. That is the draw, and it's not that far from the Netherlands for the Orange Army to come over to. Brutal cars. The GT3, it comes in. Some drivers feel quite old. They go, I raced in a car that is now historic. Quite distressing for them.
No, it's wonderful.
With two work teams and then with two privateers, well, the two wins for the privateers from Kurikov. They came back in 1988. And that too added a lot of people, a lot of Brits went down to the south. But another mate, 1995, brand new car, McLaren F1, wasn't really meant to be a race car. The customers said, let's make it a race car. Rocked up, and JJ Leto, not on his own, but he was the star, took victory. 2 years later, he had the long body. And so the long tail came, and great to see these cars. The livery, the Fina livery from the BMW crew still looks so sweet, super sweet even now.
Absolutely, no, it is great to see their achievements back then. And we are also seeing some of the dirty torque enters, the Lancia Delta S4 you're looking at now, the 1.8 litre 4-cylinder that was raced in 1986 in the rallies, and that was a time when Marco Allen, he initially won the title, but then there was, they lost it when there was actually an exclusion. It didn't actually win the championship in the end. Well, it was such a close battle.
Oh, it really was, and I mean, cars being disqualified from rallying isn't something that's new. It's happened before, it may happen again in the future, but this was the final off, and then you realise it's not quite the silhouette. It is a silhouette, underneath is very different from what you'd pick up from your local Lancia dealer, but world-class drivers. Just outstanding cars. I think that was stages, and there were a few accidents, but some of those cars are still the sweet spot for a lot of rally fans.
Quali. They came off a wonderful road car. I was lucky enough to have one of those myself. All came from rally. You think of the Imprezas, you think of the Mitsubishi, so there was so much feed off from it, wasn't it?
Yeah, the feed down from rallying back to road cars was enormous. One manufacturer desperate to get it right is coming to join us next year. This had a global debut on Friday, just yesterday. McLaren, the MCL High, HY, that stands for hybrid, and that's where the championship's now. And already we're discovering that Lando Norris, who also races an orange car, may for McLaren in the big races like Le Mans. We've seen other drivers.
For his future, we will thoroughly enjoy it if he races at Le Mans. But it's so fantastic that McLaren are getting.
Yeah, I think so. You've been there, and it's come up, and that brilliant year last year. Reasons are there for why they're not yet winning this year, but they will get back. They will get back.
Yeah, and Zach Brown, of course.